Good morning, student. This is my lecture 6th, video lecture 6th during this COVID-19 period, lockdown period. The yesterday's class we discussed about the processes of fragmentation. We studied that there are two type of processes for a molecular ion. One is a simple cleavage. In that it is covered a heterolytic cleavage, homolytic cleavage. The homolytic cleavage also includes alpha cleavage, beta cleavage, allylic cleavage, benzylic cleavage, and the third process comes under simple cleavage is retro-Diels order fragmentation. Now this is the first process for a molecular ion, a simple cleavage. Now the second process. Now in the classification we have studied there are two broad type of fragmentation process. The second one will be the rearrangement process. A molecular ion may be undergo a fragmentation by the process of rearrangement, by rearranging itself into some other fragment ions. The rearrangement process again includes, one is a scrambling rearrangement or scrambling process, the second one is McLafferty rearrangement, the third one is elimination, and the fourth one includes the Ortho effect. These are the four type of fragmentations comes under rearrangement process for a molecular ion. Now with these four fragmentation processes, four types of fragmentation processes, we can complete the whole fragmentation process for a molecular ion. Now the first fragmentation process which comes under rearrangement is a scrambling reaction, scrambling. The scrambling process is nothing but the cleavage of a sigma bond in a molecule, simultaneous reformation of the same bond, simultaneous reformation of the same bond with other atoms, within the molecule, that resulted a ring expanded one, in a cyclic compounds. When a sigma bond is cleaved and reformed with other atom, reformed the same bond with the other atom, resulted a ring expansion product or ring expanded ion called as scrambling reaction. Scrambling is nothing but a simple cleavage of sigma bond. The same bond is reformed with other atoms within the molecule, resulted a ring expanded product. Now this scrambling process of fragmentation is very common, or we can consider it as a characteristic fragmentation for an alkyl benzene. That is, the alkyl benzenes in the first step of fragmentation, they undergo a simple cleavage process, particularly the beta cleavage, which we are discussed in the yesterday's class. When the alkyl benzenes undergo a beta cleavage, that resulted a more stable benzyl cation. Now after formation of a benzyl cation, the benzyl cation intermediate may undergo a scrambling process. For example, now this is benzene, with a alkyl benzene CH3, it is a toluene. Now first it undergo a simple cleavage, in that a beta cleavage. Why beta cleavage happens? Due to the formation of more stable benzyl cation. So first it undergo a beta cleavage to give a PHCH2 plus more stable benzyl cation. Now followed by it undergo a rearrangement. Further fragmentation leads to the rearrangement like a scrambling. That is, say for example, this is the carbon-carbon sigma bond. The carbon sigma, breakage of carbon sigma bond. See, you observe. Now the carbon-carbon sigma bond is cleaved and reformed the same bond with the CH2 carbon with other atom in a molecule. What happens when this bond get cleaved and reformed with the CH2 carbon which is outside? or which is as a substitution on a aromatic ring, that leads to a ring expanded. So we will get a 7-membered ring. Double bond, a hydrogen, a plus charge, a 7-membered ring. This is tropylium cation. This is tropylium cation. You see, for an alkyl benzene, in the first step of fragmentation, say this is molecular ion. In the first step of fragmentation, first it undergo a beta cleavage to give a more stable benzyl cation. The benzyl cation for further fragmentation, it undergo a rearrangement where a carbon-carbon sigma bond get cleaved and the same bond is reformed with outside CH2, a substituted CH2, that gives rise to a ring expanded, that is tropylium cation. This process, this rearrangement is called as scrambling. So this is the characteristic fragmentation, and we may observe this type of fragmentation particularly in alkyl benzene after their beta cleavage. The tropylium cation is further undergo fragmentation, that is in another way. Now you take other examples. For example, I am going to take CH2 SCH3, CH2 CH3 molecular ion. Now first it undergo a beta cleavage. To give a stable benzyl cation. This is CH carbon, a CH3, a plus 1. A benzyl cation type, a cation is formed, it is more stable. Now this will undergo rearrangement process. Now this cation, a stable cation, is further undergo rearrangement, the breakage of this carbon-carbon sigma bond to reform with the CH plus, that is a positively charged carbon atom, that resulted a 7-membered tropylium cation with there is a substitution, that is CH3, where the CH carbon bearing a CH3 carbon. When this CH carbon goes inside the ring, there is a substitution of methyl. This is methyl substituted tropylium cation. So this is the scrambling process. Scrambling process. Now with respect to substitution, say instead of CH3, suppose if on CH2 carbon, if there is other substituents, then we will get a respective substituted tropylium cation. For example, you take benzyl alcohol, where the CH2 carbon is substituted with OH. This is benzyl cation, benzyl alcohol molecular ion. First it undergo a beta cleavage. First the benzyl alcohol undergo a beta cleavage. Now this resulted a stable cation, CH2OH, CH positive charge OH, a stable cation. Now further it undergoes scrambling, where the cleavage of this carbon-carbon sigma bond and reformation with the CH plus, the positively charged carbon atom, it gives rise to again tropylium cation, where it is substituted with the OH group. So this is called as scrambling reaction. I can repeat again. For an alkyl benzene, first they may undergo a beta cleavage to give a stable benzyl cations. Now a benzyl cation, further during its fragmentation, it undergo a rearrangement process where it involved a cleavage of one sigma bond to reform with the other atom within the molecule resulted in a ring expanded ion. This process of rearrangement is called as scrambling process or scrambling rearrangement. Now now the second process which comes under rearrangement is a McLafferty rearrangement. McLafferty rearrangement. McLafferty rearrangement. This is important. Which is important. The second process of fragmentation comes under, includes the McLafferty rearrangement. It is a named one. It is very important as specifically mentioned in your syllabus. Now coming to the McLafferty rearrangement. McLafferty rearrangement is a rearrangement which involved cleavage of the beta bond. Involved cleavage of the beta bond, the simultaneous transfer of gamma hydrogen if present in a molecule to an unsaturated system. A simple rearrangement where a sigma bond is cleaved, the simultaneous, during the cleavage of sigma bond, simultaneously the gamma hydrogen of a molecule is transferred to some other unsaturated system. It may be an alkene, it may be an carbonyl group, or it may be whatever it may be, a unsaturated system, or sometimes it may be an aromatic system. This rearrangement is called as McLafferty rearrangement. What is McLafferty rearrangement? McLafferty rearrangement is a rearrangement for a molecular ion which involved the cleavage of sigma bond. During that, the simultaneous transfer of gamma hydrogen to unsaturated system resulted an ion radical by the loss of a neutral. So this rearrangement resulted the formation of an ion radical by the loss of neutral molecule. This rearrangement is called as McLafferty rearrangement. Now the structural or skeletal requirement for this rearrangement. The skeletal or structural requirement for this rearrangement is a molecule which containing an unsaturated system with an at least one gamma hydrogen. You listen carefully. The skeletal requirement for the McLafferty rearrangement is a molecule consisting of at least one gamma hydrogen with an unsaturated system may undergo McLafferty rearrangement, because for the McLafferty rearrangement, a unsaturated system is very important to catch the hydrogen, and a gamma hydrogen is also important. Presence of at least one gamma hydrogen is also important in order to transfer its hydrogen, gamma hydrogen, to an unsaturated system. Are you following? Number 1. McLafferty rearrangement is a process of fragmentation where it involved cleavage of the beta bond and simultaneous transfer of gamma hydrogen to the unsaturated system, whatever it may be, resulted an ion radical by the loss of a neutral. So this is called as McLafferty rearrangement. It is an important in the mass spectrometry. And what is the structural requirement or skeletal requirement? The skeletal requirement for this rearrangement is a molecule should consist of an unsaturated system with at least one gamma hydrogen. Otherwise, there is no McLafferty rearrangement. So this is the skeletal requirement. Further, except a saturated compound where the saturated compound does not consist of any unsaturated system. So except a saturated system which includes alkanes, alkyl halides, alcohols, ethers, etc. type of amines, alcohols, ethers, amines, alkanes, some saturated nitrocarbons. Except a saturated compounds, remaining all type of compounds may participate or may undergo a McLafferty rearrangement. That is, Alkenes can undergo. Aromatic substituted aromatic compounds can undergo. Carbonyl compounds including aldehyde ketones are undergoing McLafferty rearrangement. Amides undergo, and carboxylic acids are undergoing, and esters are also going. So except a saturated system, remaining all type of compounds are undergoing McLafferty rearrangement. Examples. Let us learn with some examples. Say for example, this is an example where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons are there. This is 2-pentanone. 2-pentanone, a molecular ion, the 2-pentanone molecular ion. Now with respect to, now you can observe, this is the molecule consisting of an unsaturated system, C double bond O group. No need to have always C double bond or whatever the unsaturated system. So with respect to a carbonyl group, this carbon is alpha, this carbon is beta, this carbon is gamma. Now where it consisting of hydrogens. Now a molecule consisting of an unsaturated system and also a gamma hydrogen, hence it undergo McLafferty rearrangement. Say, according to our definition, cleavage of the beta bond. Cleavage of the beta bond and the transfer of gamma hydrogen to an unsaturated system. Now this bond gets polarized towards this side. You observe in the mechanism what happens. A alpha, the beta bond get cleaved. When it polarized towards this side, the gamma hydrogen get transferred to oxygen in this case, and C double bond O pi bond get polarized towards the carbon-carbon side. So what happens in brief? There is a breakage of a beta bond that resulted. Now when gamma hydrogen is transferred to oxygen, this become OH. When this pi bond is polarized towards this side, now carbon-carbon become a doubly bonded. Now there is a breakage of beta bond. Therefore, a alkene is formed. Now this is appear as ion radical, this appear as neutral. So you see, beta bond is cleaved, gamma hydrogen is transferred to unsaturated system. So that resulted a ion radical. One is ion radical, the other one is a neutral. Now this radical, ion radical, is called as McLafferty ion. McLafferty ion. The ion is called as McLafferty ion. Do you understand? It is a simple rearrangement process. When a molecule consisting of an unsaturated with at least gamma hydrogen, they may undergo McLafferty rearrangement to give an ion radical called as McLafferty ion by the loss of a neutral. Okay. Now let us discuss with some other examples. For example, you take an alkene. Say this is an alkene where I kept here one double bond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a 1-pentene. So this is the molecule consisting of a double bond, an unsaturated system. With respect to this carbon is alpha, this carbon is beta, this carbon is gamma. Now a hydrogen on gamma carbon is related to gamma hydrogen. Now this is a molecular ion. A molecular ion. Now cleavage of beta bond. Beta bond is cleaved. Gamma hydrogen is transferred to carbon, that is unsaturated system. This bond gets polarized towards these two carbons, so that we can get a doubly bonded one, a double bond between these two carbons, and this become saturated one, or this become a the double bond previously existed get disappeared, and hydrogen, a gamma hydrogen is added to this, and the remaining part is an ethylene. Now where two carbons get eliminated as a neutral, that is ethylene. Now this is ion radical. So one is ion radical, the other one is a neutral. This is McLafferty ion. Now let us take some other examples. Now this is N-propyl benzene, where the benzene is substituted by 1, 2, 3 carbons, N-propyl benzene. Now this is the molecular ion. When we hide these 4 carbons, you observe there is an unsaturated system. These two are the doubly bonded, unsaturated. When we hide these 4 carbon atom, now it will get a structural requirement for McLafferty rearrangement, where this acts as an unsaturated one. Now with respect to aromatic ring, the first carbon is alpha, the second carbon is beta, the third carbon is gamma, where it consisting of gamma hydrogen. Now cleavage of beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen to this carbon. Now polarization of pi bond towards the alpha carbon. That resulted. Now this is the initial existence, and this carbon already consisting of one hydrogen, one gamma hydrogen get transferred, so that this carbon bearing the 2 hydrogen. Now this becomes C double bond C, and the other fragment get eliminated as 2 carbon neutral ethylene. This carbon and this carbon get eliminated as a neutral, that is ethylene. This is ion radical. This is called as McLafferty ion. Are you following? Now let us discuss some other examples. Now we have a doubt. Even though a molecule consisting of an unsaturated system, alpha hydrogen, beta hydrogen, gamma hydrogen, in some other cases there may be delta hydrogen, a hydrogen on delta carbon. But in the McLafferty rearrangement, only gamma hydrogen get transferred. Then we have a doubt. Why not alpha hydrogen? Why not beta hydrogen? Why not delta hydrogen get transferred to unsaturated system during the rearrangement process? That is, only gamma hydrogen is transferred, because when gamma hydrogen is transferred to unsaturated system, that resulted a more stable cyclic 6-membered transition state intermediate. So the 6-membered cyclic transition state, which is more stable, is possible during the McLafferty rearrangement when gamma hydrogen is transferred. If alpha hydrogen or beta hydrogen is transferred, it may not be possible to form a stable cyclic 6-membered transition state. The transition state of cyclic 6-membered is more stable, we know, therefore only gamma hydrogen is transferred. For example, you take a carbonyl compound, a substituted, whatever it may be, a substituted carbonyl compound. Its molecular ion. Now it has a unsaturated system with respect to carbonyl carbon. This carbon is alpha, this carbon is beta, and this carbon is gamma, and this CH3 carbon is delta. Now a hydrogen on gamma carbon. So alpha carbon also has alpha hydrogen, beta hydrogens are there, and delta hydrogen is also there, but never either alpha, either beta or delta hydrogens are transferred to a unsaturated system. Only gamma hydrogen is transferred. Let us write its cyclic transition state. Cleavage of beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen to oxygen, that is in unsaturated system, polarization of this bond. Now we will get a stable cyclic transition state. this is CH3 already present. Now this is the stable cyclic transition state. Now a stable 6-membered cyclic transition state. Now you observe in the cyclic transition state, a beta bond is slowly disappearing, therefore presented in a dotted bond, where it is going to get a cleavage or a disappearance. Now now here slowly the pi bond get appearing, therefore dotted line. So the bond between carbon and hydrogen get slowly disappearing. Now this gamma hydrogen is transferring to unsaturated system, a dotted line. This pi bond get disappearing to form a pi bond between the carbon oxygen pi bond is polarizing towards the carbon bond. So you observe 1 2 3 4 5 6. So when gamma hydrogen is transferred, there is a cyclic 6-membered more stable transition state is possible. This is the 6-membered cyclic transition state. Therefore only gamma hydrogen is transferred. Now in this case we will get R, this become OH after transfer, this become double bond, it is an ion radical. Now this part is lost as a propene as a neutral, So when this beta bond is cleaved, we will get a propene instead of ethylene, because one CH3 group is attached at gamma carbon. So a propene, we will get the propene as a neutral, this as an ion radical. So this is McLafferty rearrangement. Now let us discuss some other examples. For example, I am going to take ester. R C double bond O, oxygen. Now ethyl ester, whatever the R group, so it is an ethyl ester. Now its molecular ion with respect to carbonyl carbon, this become alpha, this become beta, this become gamma. There is a gamma hydrogen. Now cleavage of beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen, polarization of double bond between C double bond O to C single bond O, it polarized to give R group. Now this become OH after transferring the gamma hydrogen. Now this becomes C double bond O, ion radical. By the loss of what fragment? This ethyl group is lost as an ethylene, as a neutral. So this is the McLafferty rearrangement in the case of ester. Now McLafferty rearrangement is a process. It can also be utilized for the distinction of an isomeric molecules. So McLafferty rearrangement is useful for the distinction of an isomeric compounds of a molecule. Now based on how do we distinguish the isomers? Based on the M by Z value of McLafferty ion formed. Based on the M by Z value of McLafferty ions formed, we can predict the isomeric compound or isomeric structure. For example, 2-pentene. Now for example, 2-pentanone, 1 2 3 4 5. Now there are 5 carbons, it is 2-pentanone. Its molecular ion, alpha carbon, beta carbon, gamma carbon. Now transfer of gamma, cleavage of beta bond. So beta bond get cleaved, and the transfer of gamma hydrogen, this bond is polarized towards this side to form a OH group here, C double bond C, a ion radical by the loss of ethylene as a neutral. Now this is 2-pentanone, its isomer. which is aldehyde. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. These two are the isomer. One is ketone, one is aldehyde. The second one is aldehyde. So this is the molecular ion. With respect to C double bond O, this is alpha, this carbon is beta, this carbon is gamma carbon. Is it clear? Now, cleavage of this bond. Transfer of gamma hydrogen to oxygen. Polarization of this bond to give C double bond O become OH, oxygen become OH. This is C double bond C plus this part, the two carbons with its CH3 substitution get lost as a neutral, that is propene. That is propene. Is it clear? Now we have a two isomeric structure. I told that McLafferty process or rearrangement can be used for the prediction of an isomeric compound based on the M by Z value of McLafferty ion formed after its McLafferty rearrangement. Now we have considered the two isomeric examples. One is 2-pentanone, the other one is aldehyde. Its isomer aldehyde, pentanaldehyde. The 2-pentanone, when undergo McLafferty rearrangement, we will get this McLafferty ion. Now, when its isomer aldehyde undergo McLafferty rearrangement, we will get this molecule, this ion radical. Now, in the first case, ethylene is lost as a neutral. In the second example, propene get lost as a neutral. So, coming to the calculation of M by Z value. M by Z value of this ion. The first ion formed from the ketone. 1, 2, 3 carbons are there, 36. Here 3 hydrogen. Here 2 hydrogen, 5 hydrogen. Here 1 hydrogen, 6 hydrogen. So 3 carbons, 6 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. 3 carbons constituted 36 mass and 6 hydrogen, 6, 42, and plus 16 for oxygen. 42 plus 16, it is 58. So the M by Z value of McLafferty ion formed from a ketone is a 58. Now an M by Z value of ion, McLafferty ion formed from the aldehyde has 2 carbons only. So 24, 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, here 1 hydrogen, total 4 hydrogen, 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen. 24 plus 4, 28, plus 1 oxygen, 28 plus 16, 34 and 44. 44. You observe clearly. The both isomers are undergo the same kind of rearrangement, that is McLafferty rearrangement, but the M by Z value of the McLafferty ions formed has a different value. So the first ion, the McLafferty ion from the ketone, has M by Z value, mass value 58. The McLafferty ion formed from the aldehyde has the M by Z value 44. Therefore, this process is useful for the determination of or prediction of an isomer based on the M by Z value of a McLafferty ions. Now I will give a general example of a type of compounds which may undergo McLafferty rearrangement. This is R group. Now we need for the McLafferty rearrangement is one unsaturated system, one gamma hydrogen, unsaturated system and a gamma hydrogen. Now alpha carbon, beta carbon, gamma carbon. Now it is the general example, generalized example. Cleavage of beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen, polarization of this pi bond towards this side. We will get OH here, double bond, R group, plus loss of ethylene. Now where R is equal to any alkyl. R is equal to, we may keep R is equal to any alkyl. this become ketone. This example become ketone. If R is equal to hydrogen, the example become an aldehyde. If R is equal to NH2, the example become amide. C double bond O NH2 amide. If R is equal to OH, it become carboxylic acid. C double bond O, R is equal to OH, carboxylic acid. Okay. If R is equal to OR, this become ester. C double bond O, OR. The example become ester. Now, R is equal to alkyl, R is equal to hydrogen, R is equal to NH2, R is equal to OH, R is equal to ester, that is OR. When it is OR, it becomes ester. R is equal to maybe iodine, maybe chlorine, maybe bromine. Is it clear? Now when R is equal to iodine, it becomes acyl iodide. When R is equal to chlorine, it becomes acyl chloride. When R is equal to bromine, it becomes acyl bromide. You observe in this series where ketones undergo McLafferty rearrangement, aldehydes also undergo McLafferty rearrangement, amides are also undergo McLafferty, carboxylic acids undergo, esters undergo, and acyl halides are also undergo. Halides include iodine, chlorine or bromine. So except a saturated system, remaining all type of compounds are undergo McLafferty rearrangement, which consisting of a unsaturated system with at least a gamma hydrogen. Is it clear? Now, with R group, you may construct or you may write your own examples. Keeping this structural feature as such, you may change R group with any of these kind of substitution: alkyl, hydrogen, amine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, or OH or OR, etc. You will get different type of compounds. This is about McLafferty rearrangement. Now, in some examples, if possible, in some kind of examples which consisting of unsaturated system with a gamma hydrogen, if possible, they may undergo double McLafferty reaction, double McLafferty rearrangement. If structural features permits, it may undergo a double McLafferty rearrangement. For example, you take this example, a molecular ion where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons are there. It is heptane. 1, 2, 3, 4th position bearing carbonyl group. It is 4-heptanone. 4, it is a ketone. 4-heptanone. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4-heptanone. Now it consisting of gamma alpha carbon both side, beta carbon both side, gamma carbon both side. Now it contains gamma hydrogen. First, cleavage of the beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen, this bond get polarized to give this is the ion radical by the laws of neutral ethylene. When we cleave here, this becomes C double bond C, this becomes OH. So this is the McLafferty ion. Now it undergo ketoenol type of tautomerism. To give again a keto group with an ion radical. Ketoenol tautomerism, where the hydrogen and oxygen get shifted to a carbon through a pi electrons. So we will get again a ketone. Now this ketone is an ion radical. It has again alpha hydrogen, beta hydrogen and gamma hydrogen. Now at other side, the cleavage of beta bond, transfer of gamma hydrogen and polarization of this bond. to give these two carbon get eliminated as neutral ethylene. This is ethylene plus this part double bond. This is OH. This is CH3, a ion radical. Is it clear? If a structural feature permits for any molecule, maybe undergo double McLafferty rearrangement. This is the best example for double McLafferty rearrangement, which is 4-heptanone, 1, 2, 3, 4-heptanone, or dipropyl ketone. Now, first it undergo McLafferty rearrangement to give this ion, a McLafferty ion. This McLafferty ion undergo keto-enol atomism, where hydrogen and oxygen get shifted through the pi electrons to the carbon to give again a ketone. This is the ketone. It is an ion radical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. 2 carbons are eliminated from the heptanone as a ethylene neutral. Leftover carbons are 5. It is a ketone. It is 2-pentanone. So that again there is a possibility, because it consisting of C double bond O and it also consisting of gamma hydrogen. Therefore, gamma hydrogen get transferred once again. Finally, it gives the acetone. This is the enolic form of acetone, and this is an ethylene eliminated as a neutral. Enolic form of acetone is a ion radical. So, do you observe? There are 2 times McLafferty rearrangement happen in this example. So, with this McLafferty rearrangement with plenty of examples, with different type of examples are discussed here. Now the third now coming to the second process, that is rearrangement process of fragmentation. The third rearrangement fragmentation is elimination and rearrangement. Elimination process of rearrangement. So the molecular ion may be undergo rearrangement process by eliminating certain kinds of its groups. Now coming to the definition. In a molecule, if an hydrogen is closely situated or very near to the more polar substituent, in any molecule, if an hydrogen is very close to a more polar substituent, then its hydrogen get abstracted a polar substituent and it can be eliminated as a neutral. This is called as elimination followed by rearrangement of molecular ion. For example, a chair form of cyclohexane. This is the chair form of cyclohexane, where this is the hydrogen, this is the OH group. Now this is one kind of molecule, cyclohexanol, in chair conformation, where OH group is a polar. Now the hydrogen is an appropriately situated, or it is very close to a more polar group. Then this hydrogen gets abstracted by the polar group. Hydrogen get abstracted by the polar group. Therefore, the hydrogen and polar group get eliminated as a neutral, and there is a rearrangement process. Rearrangement process, when OH abstracted proton and this bond get cleaved and reformed to this carbon, and OH carbon bond get again cleaved to give a bicyclic system, where you can observe between the hydrogen eliminated from the carbon and OH eliminated last from the carbon, there is a carbon-carbon sigma bond is formed. This is the 3-membered ring, this is the 6-membered ring. A bicyclic system is formed as an ion radical by the laws of water as neutral. Water as neutral. So this is the process. You observe where the hydrogen is very close to the polar group. not necessary to have every time a OH group, any polar group. If an hydrogen is very close to polar group in a molecule, that hydrogen can be abstracted by the polar group and eliminated it as a neutral molecule. During that process, the molecule get rearranged from its original structure to some other structure, resulted an ion radical by the loss of a neutral molecule. This is called as elimination as well as the rearrangement process. A monocyclic system is converted into a bicyclic system, therefore it is a rearranged one. Now, for example, you take the same cyclohexanol in its boat conformation. This is the boat conformation of cyclohexanol. This is hydrogen. This is OH group. A molecular ion. Now, in this case, you observe this hydrogen is very close to polar group, therefore abstracted. A proton is abstracted. Then this bond is cleaved and reformed to the carbon with the carbon bearing OH group. OH is eliminated, so that we will get a new sigma bond between the carbons bearing hydrogen and carbon bearing OH group. This is a bicyclic system of ion radical. Now, by the loss of a neutral, that is water molecule. So this is, you observe, there is a elimination of H plus OH minus as water as a neutral, and monocyclic ring get rearranged to a bicyclic system. Therefore, it is a elimination followed by rearrangement process of fragmentation. Now, you take some other examples. OH, ion radical. This is N-propyl alcohol, where hydrogen and OH are very close, therefore abstracted. A proton is abstracted by OH. This bond is cleaved and reformed with the other carbon which bearing the OH group to give 1, 2, 3 carbons as cyclopropane ion radical. Hydrogen and OH get eliminated as a neutral, that is water molecule as a neutral. Is it clear? So this is, you see, from N-propyl alcohol, from open chain system, where by the loss of hydrogen and OH as a neutral water, and open chain system get rearranged to a cyclic system. 3 carbons get rearranged to cyclic system, that is propane ion radical. So this is elimination followed by rearrangement process. Now with this, the elimination and rearrangement process is completed. Now you have to study the last one, that is Ardo effect. Ardo effect. Ardo effect. Now, Ardo effect. This is the fourth process of fragmentation which comes under rearrangement process. Now, coming to what is, let us learn what is Ardo effect. In a disubstituted, particularly Ardo disubstituted aromatic compounds. Ardo disubstituted aromatic compounds are a cis olefins. Cis olefins, when the hydrogen and a polar group are come very close to each other, that is Ardo disubstituted aromatic compounds are in a cis olefins if hydrogen and a more polar groups are situated appropriately, or when hydrogen and more polar groups are come close to each other, they may get eliminated. When they come close to each other, those two groups, hydrogen and more polar group, get eliminated as a neutral molecule to resulted an ion radical called as Ardo effect, because the hydrogen as well as the more polar groups are situated Ardo with respect to each other. So that the hydrogen and polar groups are eliminating from the Ardo position as a neutral one. Therefore, this is called as Ardo effect. Ardo effect. For example, you take salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. This is OH. This is oxygen and hydrogen. A salicylic acid. A disubstituted aromatic compound, Ardo disubstitute. These two groups are Ardo with respect to each other. Ardo disubstituted. You observe, this is the molecular ion where this hydrogen and OH group, which is polar, are very close to each other. The hydrogen and polar groups are very close to each other. Therefore, these two get the OH group abstracted the proton, therefore eliminated as a neutral one, like this. This bond is polarized towards the oxygen, and the initial benzene pi bond is polarized towards the carbonyl carbon, and OH group get eliminated by the abstraction of proton. When OH abstracted the proton, the bond between oxygen and hydrogen get polarized towards oxygen and benzene carbon, and initial benzene pi electrons or pi bond get polarized towards the carbonyl carbon. That leads to loss of OH group, resulted an ion radical. Ion radical. The two pi bonds already existed. This pi bond is disappeared to form a pi bond between the two carbons. Now there is a C double bond O. And here, after polarizing the bond between oxygen hydrogen towards the benzene carbon and oxygen, it will have C double bond O. This fragment is formed as ion radical by the loss of water as neutral. This is called as Ardo effect. You observe where the hydrogen and OH group are eliminating as a neutral molecule because of substituting at Ardo with respect to each other, called as Ardo effect. Ardo effect is nothing but when an hydrogen and Ardo substituted a polar groups are come very close to each other or very near to each other, the proton get abstracted by the polar group and it can be eliminated as a neutral molecule, resulted an ion radical called as Ardo effect. Now, I will give a general example for Ardo effect. General example for Ardo effect. C double bond O. Say this is Y group. Now here X group attached with hydrogen. X group attached with hydrogen. Is it clear? Now where this hydrogen, say Y is a polar group. It may be Y is equal to maybe OH. It become carboxylic. When Y is equal to OH, it become carboxylic acid. Or Y is equal to OR, it become ester. Y may be OH or Y may be OR, it become ester. Or Y may be bromine or Y may be chlorine, it become acyl halide. Now Y is equal to OH, carboxylic acid. Y is equal to ester, Y is equal to OR, it is alkoxy group, it become ester. If Y is equal to halogen, it become acyl halide. Now coming to the X group. Now here X is equal to maybe oxygen, or X is equal to maybe NH group, or X is equal to maybe CH2 group. X is equal to maybe CH2 group. This is one of the general example to show the Ardo effect. Now these two groups are Ardo with respect to each other, where C double bond O Y, X hydrogen, X attached with hydrogen. This is X group, this is Y group. Now Y is equal to maybe OH, Y may be OR, Y may be bromine, Y may be chlorine. If it is OH, it becomes carboxylic acid. If it is OR, it becomes ester. If it is halogen, it becomes acyl halide. Is it clear? Coming to the X group. X group may be oxygen. If X group may be NH, X group may be CH2. If X is oxygen, it becomes OH. If X is NH group, it becomes NH2, that is amine. If X is CH2, it becomes CH3 group, that is alkyl. So, abstraction of Y group, abstraction of hydrogen by the Y group. The hydrogen get eliminated as double bond here, C double bond C, C double bond O, C double bond O, Y is eliminated. This is ion radical. Now in this case, double bond between carbon of benzene to the X, loss of Y get lost and hydrogen get lost, YH as a neutral. H and Y atoms get lost as a neutral. Now if X is equal to oxygen, here we can write oxygen, it may be NH or it may be CH2. Now Y is equal to OH, it may be water as neutral. If Y is equal to OR, it eliminated as alcohol as neutral. If Y is equal to halogen, it eliminated as hydrogen halide as a neutral. Is it clear? So this is called as Ardo effect. According to our definition, Ardo effect is possible for Ardo disubstituted aromatic system, sometimes cis olefins. Now you take a cis olefin with the same kind of groups, C double bond O, Y, X hydrogen, this is cis olefin. These two are hydrogens, hydrogen and hydrogen, disubstituted cis olefin. Now again, Y may be OH, Y may be OR. Okay. Now Y may be NH2, that become amide. Y may be chlorine, Y may be bromine, etc. Now X is equal to, X may be oxygen, NH group, CH2 group. If it is oxygen, OH, if it is NH, NH2, if it is CH2, it becomes CH3. Y may be OH or Y may be OR, Y may be NH2, Y may be Cl or Y may be bromine, depending upon its nature. Now abstraction of hydrogen by the Y group. Now hydrogen get eliminated. Y is cleaved. After abstracting a proton from its cis position, the Y may be cleaved from the molecule to give double bond here, double bond O. Now this carbon becomes CC double bond, this is C double bond O. I have written here, this becomes double bond X, this is ion radical by the loss of H and Y atom as a neutral. This is the ion radical and H and Y are eliminated or lost as a neutral molecule. So this is because of eliminating the two groups, one is hydrogen and the other one is polar group, if appropriately situated on a position of Ardo. Therefore it is called as Ardo effect, or sometimes it is also called as Ardo elimination. Ardo effect or Ardo elimination. Ardo elimination. Ardo effect or Ardo elimination. So with this there are two major types of fragmentation processes were covered, or we are discussed all type of fragmentation process for a molecular ion. happen a fragmentation of second step of a principle. I will brief you regarding the process of fragmentation. A molecular ion may be fragmented by two types. Number one, it may be fragmented as ion radical by the loss of neutral. It may be fragmented as formation of cation by the loss of a radical. These are the two types of fragmentation for molecular ion. Coming to the process, by what process the molecular ion get fragmented? So there are two major types of fragmentations. One is simple cleavage, other one is rearrangement. The simple cleavage may be heterolytically cleaved, or the simple cleavage may be homolytic, or the simple, if it is homolytic, the simple cleavage, if it is homolytic, there may be first bond cleaved called as alpha cleavage, there may be second bond cleaved called as beta cleavage, there may be second bond cleaved with respect to a double bond called as allylic cleavage, there may be second bond cleaved with respect to aromatic system called as benzylic cleavage. Now the simple cleavage also includes, other one is a reversal reactivity of Diels order called as retro Diels order fragmentation. So these are the processes of fragmentation comes under simple cleavage. The other type, in today's class we discussed the rearrangement process of fragmentation. So the rearrangement includes scrambling reaction, McLafferty rearrangement, elimination and Ortho effect. I repeat once again, a scrambling process is nothing but cleavage of a sigma bond and reformation simultaneously with other atoms in a molecule resulted a ring expanded ion, that is ring expanded ion called as scrambling reaction. Now the second type of rearrangement is McLafferty rearrangement, where the cleavage of a beta bond, simultaneous transfer of gamma hydrogen to unsaturated system resulted an ion radical by the loss of neutral called as McLafferty rearrangement. Earlier we discussed about the skeletal requirement is a molecule must consisting of an unsaturated system with at least one gamma hydrogen. Is it clear? Now the third one is elimination. In a molecule, if hydrogen and hydrogen and more polar functional groups are very near or very close to each other, then the polar group is abstracted hydrogen, and a polar group and hydrogen get eliminated as a neutral molecule. The original molecule, after their elimination, the hydrogen and more polar group elimination, get rearranged to some other ion, a rearranged ion, therefore called as elimination followed by rearrangement. Now the fourth type, just now we discussed the Ortho effect. This is the characteristic fragmentation of ortho disubstituted aromatic system as well as the cis olefins, cis alkenes, where in the aromatic system, if hydrogen and polar groups are very close to each other, these two must be ortho with respect to each other. Then the hydrogen again get abstracted by a polar group situated at its ortho position, and these two get eliminated. Hydrogen and polar group get eliminated as a neutral one, resulted an ion radical. Because of eliminating the hydrogen and more polar group from ortho with respect to each other, this is called as Ortho effect or Ortho elimination. Now similar to cis olefins, where the hydrogen and polar groups are situated cis with respect to each other. When these two are situated cis with respect to each other, means the two groups are on the same side with respect to olefin or double bond or with respect to its plane. Therefore hydrogen get abstracted by the polar group and eliminated as a neutral molecule to give an ion radical. So this is called as Ortho effect or Ortho elimination. With this, the total fragmentation process were completed. Now in the tomorrow's class, we will discuss the fragmentation process in different type of molecules: alkanes, alkenes, alkyl halides, alcohols, esters, aromatic compounds, carbonyl compounds, amides, carboxylic acids, etc. Similarly, carbocyclic compounds as well as in heterocyclic systems. So we should learn how a type of compounds may undergo fragmentation by what process. Say alkanes. Let us learn how alkanes are undergo fragmentation process, whether they may undergo fragmentation by simple process or whether they may undergo fragmentation by a rearrangement process. Similarly alkenes, similarly alkyl halides and alcohols and esters and carboxylic acids and aromatic systems and also heterocyclic system. In the tomorrow's class we will discuss a process of fragmentation in various compounds, that is whatever the fragmentation process, simple cleavage and rearrangement learned in this class, we are going to apply these processes in the tomorrow's class to different type of molecules like alkane, alkene, etc. So with this I conclude my lecture. Thank you very much.